Alright, welcome back, Street 16 Podcast. We got the whole crew, 5 of us, and we're gonna do a segment about Marco's clapbacks. He was criticized by the members of this podcast team. I don't have the clips queued up, so if I could paraphrase, Jeff said Marco don't always want to put in the work. Marco took exception to that. Key said when she met Marco, he was loud and drunk. Marco took no exception to that. And CHUMA said that I was Marco's keeper, which me and Marco both took exception to that. And we're all in the room, Marco. So the floor is yours.
Pop off, daddy.
All right, well, there you go. Nigga, put the work in, nigga. Like I said, I mean, you've already heard this. I be putting the motherfucking work in, nigga. I be up at 4:30. Look, once again, that's why I have the chicken scratch. My ass be sitting there at 4:30, 3 o'clock in the morning writing this shit. Look, I couldn't even spell Imhotep right.
That is a weak rebuttal. How about you go to the next person then?
Oh, and then Chuma, you saying this nigga's my keeper? That nigga ain't keep. Look,
He was keeping you that day though.
Keep it. Look, he had to keep my. He had to look.
I am not.
He kept my ass in the car and took me back to the crib to change
He kept
clothes.
saying, "Where Marco at?" Look, he kept saying, "Where Marco at?" Let me go out here and make sure Marco ain't fighting with the bouncer. But you was.
So you
Get ready.
stayed in
True, but the point is.
No, we stayed in it for about 10, 12 minutes, ordered a drink, said hello to some
So
people.
y'all wait, he couldn't get in, so y'all stayed in the club and had a drink.
12
We
minutes?
just went to speed. Let me tell you. Listen, we went.
That's
to
wrong?
Because he's not his keeper.
That's
That's
wrong?
wrong. You know they going to the club and not.
Key, that's wrong.
No, we didn't know. We didn't know.
What time you get in with sweatpants on?
Look,
Scotty
I ain't had no sweatpants.
Right, it was Scotty quick.
You
They
ain't
were
Scotty quick.
Look, first of all, Mike just picked me up. He was like, "All right, we're going out and chill." Next thing you know, he gets a call. Yeah,
I didn't go out to chill. We was doing work that night.
Yeah, well, I mean, the
It
point
was
is,
the night before my book signing.
yeah, but you got a call saying, "All right, we going down to Grammy Street to go
The
somewhere."
fact that you use the word chill is part of the problem. We wasn't going out to chill. We was going out on business. All right? My book signing was a big event, and I had to prep the night before.
Okay, but the point is, what the fuck does my attire have to do with that?
I didn't say anything about your tie.
Exactly. So when we're going out working, he gets a call. Look, we about to head out to Grammy Street. All right, let's roll. And Grammy Street, what? A whole bunch of motherfucking young white boys from ODU hanging out. You know what
Probably
I'm saying?
somewhere where you can't have on sweatpants, Marco.
But this is not.
What Marco does what the fuck Marco wants to do. This is exactly my point. So now that we got into this and you ready for this guy,
I already had on my attire. What you want me to do? Oh, Mike, just in case we going somewhere, let me bring a pair of slacks with me and shit. You know what I'm
He
saying?
had to come
I
get
had
you.
on jeans.
He had to come get you to go to the thing, right? Or was you already out?
No, we were already out.
Okay.
Yeah, we were already out.
We weren't already out.
Okay.
But I want to go back to what Key had mentioned. You think it was bad for us to leave him in the car for 12 minutes?
No comment.
Oh, come on.
He was outside. He wasn't in the car. He
It was
outside.
summertime. It was summertime.
Because you know when you go to Scotty Quick, you can go inside, and then they got the little, the area outside.
Y'all
where you
just
can chill.
shady.
Well,
Y'all
look,
shady.
No.
Y'all knew he couldn't get in there. And you was like, "We'll be back," and then you went and got your little vodka cran or whatever you did, and left that man standing outside.
First of all, he was good because he always have a beer on him.
I was just about to say that,
And who,
I got beer in the car.
And who took him to the store to stop to get that beer before we got to Scotty Quick?
Thank you.
So you gonna
This guy.
justify leaving him outside drinking that
I justify
beer?
everything I do.
We wanted.
I justify
We
everything.
did want to
Thank
shake
you.
a few hands and promote the book signing,
Right.
which was
Yeah.
my whole purpose. You know, I love both you guys, but I wasn't just coming out to hang out with y'all
Right.
at Scotty Quick's.
Yeah.
I was coming out to get ready for my
network.
book signing.
And I knew the band that was on, so I was
Right.
introducing Mike
Right.
to
To
the
the
band.
band.
Right. So we did say hello, and one of my other homies, shout out to Wingo, was in the club that night, and he was hitting on you. And so I hollered at a couple of the homies, and then we went back out.
But I
Hold
don't
on,
believe it
I-
was 12 minutes because I've seen you. You will sit with the same drink for a good 45 minutes.
This was the old Mike.
Did you finish the drink?
Hell yeah. This
Look,
is the
Kim,
old
look,
Mike.
baby girl, look.
Speaking
For
of
real,
Mike,
if I would have
Yes.
been out there for a long ass time, this nigga would have heard. Man, what the fuck is you doing, man? No,
we was hearing that, but we went in there a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, they wanted look because you look.
We saw the commotion about the.
Like Chuma said, look. After that shit with the security guard, I just came my ass.
One last thing. Hold on. One last thing about that. The next night, which was my book signing, Marco, where were you at that night?
I don't know.
Was you at the book signing?
Yeah.
No, you was not. You was MIA the next night.
Was I?
Yes.
I'd have been MIA too. Somebody left me in the parking lot.
Listen, it was well lit. He had beverage.
It was summertime.
Did you roll?
Nice
Did you
weather.
roll the windows down to put on soft jazz?
No, he was on the sidewalk. He was on the sidewalk walking around.
All right, so look.
Yes.
I think all of this, even this conversation brings me to my point about how your clapback and rebuttal on air was completely invalid. Completely invalid. Because your issue with Chuma is that her first impression of you is that Mike was your handler. You, my friend, made yourself in a position to where you look like you were being handled.
Handle how? How the fuck is he handling me?
Well, hold on, one. It was her impression. Not what that reality was, her impression. And perspective in this day and age is reality. One. Two, Mike is the one who asked the question. So if he asked her what she thought and her response pissed you off, you should be mad at him.
No, you shouldn't.
Bullshit.
No,
Two.
the point is. Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, with this whole don't nobody come, we come in and sit back and do. You know you plumb full of shit for that. Because you set up a tripod, don't mean you don't do shit. Who hangs these fucking banners?
Marco did.
No,
Today, motherfucker, like
Today I hung this banner.
Today you hung this banner.
Downstairs.
Today you hung this banner.
And how
You
many
did not
times have I
banner.
hung the banner?
You have to
Don't
once.
make it seem like
Today,
you're the
nigga.
only one.
Mike, who the hell is hanging the banner when me and you get here and ain't nobody else here?
If ain't nobody else here, it's defaulted to you. Any other time, who
Oh, wow. Well, who shows up late all the goddamn
all right,
time?
there you go.
Oh, we
Yeah,
ready for the
you
late
go.
one? Okay, hold on. Who sat in the parking lot last night at 8:30 waiting for that ass?
I know, that's right.
One. Who sat in here for 45 minutes a day waiting for that ass to drink coffee at Starbucks? You pinky out pussy bitch. Two.
Hold on.
Three.
No, hold on, no.
Who gets mad about people not being on the conference call when they call in and wait 20 minutes late? I've gotten all for the call, waiting for you to call in, because again, like Mike pays $10, I also pay to be on the call.
Mike does not pay.
Okay,
Mike does not
but
pay.
hold on. You know what though? In my defense, this nigga here, I was concerned about y'all. I was
What? That's a true statement. That's a true statement.
I was tonight.
Tonight?
I was concerned.
What about Jeff? Yeah, he right on that one. He was concerned.
Yeah, I was like that. See,
Yeah.
now you just said that shit. I'm concerned about y'all waiting
all of
here.
that bottom lines out to Mr. Puppet Master over here.
Yeah.
Creates this content, and because there's a brotherhood between y'all, you don't ever give him no smoke. You'll let him cuss you out to your face in somebody else's name, and be mad at the person whose name he used, because Mr. Puppet Master over here just want content.
And look, on Sunday we had this talk. Look, digging his ass, Key. Go ahead. You started off. The first to set it
Okay,
off.
so even to the point where we knew that we were gonna come in here and shit on Mike today.
Yeah.
Mike sends out an excerpt from his book. To even then, if you gonna talk about me,
Yeah.
here goes some ammo, because I got a rebuttal for the story.
I don't want him to have.
Dance, bastards. Like,
Yeah.
But you know what? I thought he was sending them to me because I said, well, I don't really have nothing to say, you know.
No.
I didn't know it was.
If you notice, even in his dialogue on a regular with us, he'll lead you in a certain direction and let you kind of go where you're going to go, but he still is in control of it.
And you never go where I want you to go, by the way. Never. It doesn't work on her.
Absolutely. Because I see
and I'm the exact opposite. I give you exactly what you want plus some. That's what you
Yup.
need? That's what you're looking for? Okay, cool. Pop off.
Yeah. See, that nigga was talking shit to me the other day, and then I just got to the point, you know how I get. Man, what the fuck it is you talking about, man? I don't feel like hearing that motherfucking shit right now. Look, nigga, I'm getting ready. I'm gonna hit you motherfucking back.
And
look,
as soon as we
look,
press record, Mike's my best friend.
Hold on, y'all. Remember, we went to motherfucking when we came up here to first do this shit here. Look, didn't I say to y'all, this nigga got a motherfucking attitude problem. When Sunday?
Yeah.
He said that to y'all?
Yeah.
Y'all believed him?
Yes.
I
Storm into the building.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Blah, 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 blah.
And storm straight in the
Ghost.
building.
And we didn't see you again as everybody came upstairs.
All right, so so basically,
He had an attitude.
No. So basically, I said hello and then walked upstairs. How
Said
bad is
hello
that?
because we were standing right there.
You playing a game
if
right
you really
now?
feeling
You playing a game right now?
You think we stupid or some shit? Like,
How
You're
bad
playing a
is
game
that?
right now.
We had work to
People
do.
can be in their feelings and have an attitude and still come off
But we was
polite.
locked out.
So
We
yes,
was all
because
locked out when you
and
don't chew in the
Chuma
keys.
wasn't even here with the keys, so you literally were acting very petulant. You spoke to come off because he's a nice guy, everybody. So he spoke, and then he went upstairs and waited outside of a door that we could not get in.
No, I did not wait outside of a door. Marquise and them was in here.
Yeah,
they let
who was
me
in
in.
here when I got here?
You know,
Well, either
because
way,
I went
we was all
upstairs.
downstairs.
I know, but y'all could have took. Y'all could have
How
got.
Marquise and them let you in there? They pulled up after you got after we all was
Because I
in.
spoke to them, yeah.
Somebody let me in. I got in, nigga. This is what I do. I've been getting in
He
since
was in here
14.
when I got over here. I was like, oh, he in here already.
Yeah.
Okay.
He been getting there since he was 14. You caught that?
Getting in clubs and shit. You know how we sneak in, hip hop niggas. What's your line?
No, I ain't got no.
I'm with the band.
Oh yeah,
All
no
right,
doubt.
yeah.
Anytime I motherfucking go, look, because when Mike and Sonny, what's up, player? They used to do shows and shit. You know me, I'm gonna always be a nigga and come up late. And then look, they be like, okay, it's $20 to get in. Excuse me?
I'm with the band.
I'm with the band.
All right. So anyway, what else y'all got for me? Y'all ran out already?
I didn't. You took my stuff and ran with it.
Oh, what about his puppet master? Elaborate. Oh, so now I'm the bad guy.
Y'all want me to read the excerpt?
Go ahead, Mike. Read that, sir.
All right. So first of all, the excerpt. Let's see. Here we go. Let's pull it back up. It's from my book, which these four guys have not bought a copy or read it. All right. Speaking of team building and being supportive and all that shit, and
I believe you.
and I sent.
I believe I bought that book.
No, Chuma, yeah, Chuma did.
I opted to buy the mixtape instead, just so we're clear. At the About That Life tour, there were books. The book had just recently came out, and it was mixtapes as well. I bought music as opposed to buying a book.
but I did not. No matter what Keith says, she's wrong. I did not send this out as a preemptive strike because I felt like I had a rebuttal against this. I wanted to hear exactly what you guys had to say about this, and I just wanted to put a segment out there that might be content. Because
But we already had content, so you had to make sure that you had control over the situation.
No, it's not about control.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
Because just
you
like the
cannot
thing
tell me my intentions. You are wrong, young lady.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
you
you
will
are.
ask us questions. You will ask us questions and ask for our ideas and our feedback. And if it's not what you want, you will disregard it and go on to the next. Just
Let's
like,
revert to last episode.
Right.
What
right.
we
the
should
wager.
do.
Okay, let's talk about the wager. All right, see, because here we go. Now,
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
now, hold on.
That's all I got to say.
First of all, okay, we do a radio show, all right? So we decided, okay, we're gonna do a wager for the card game. The loser has to pay a punishment. Keith suggested that the punishment be the other person gets to interrupt the winner gets to interrupt the loser when the loser's talking.
Mm-hmm.
How is that good for radio?
okay, but they both agreed with it, so you dated it, right?
That don't mean it's good for radio.
Right. So then we came up with the polar plunge idea, and then you said all the things you listed that you said you wanted was something that could be done with the polar plunge.
Right.
I wanted audio. I wanted video. I wanted it to be something difficult.
And why did I object to the polar plunge.
Because that's what you, because it wasn't what you wanted.
No.
But Marco was for it.
Thank you.
But Marco was for it. It was because it was something that you didn't want.
All right, Marco's mom, the tall lady, his older brother, his uncle,
They
his
already
aunt,
got his eulogy
his cousin.
worked out, so we money.
No. They all listen. They all listen to this podcast. I'm the brother that did not want my friend to go in 20-degree water after having 2 surgeries this year, and I don't want to get morbid on y'all, but I know Marco's history. I know his brother. I know about his dad. I know about his sister. All right. This man is not that healthy. He coughs 12 times a minute, all right? I did not want him dunking his butt in the water over a stupid card game. It had nothing to do with me being in control, all right? The first suggestion was bad radio. The second suggestion was bad friendship. I want the nigga to live, goddammit, so he get his $12,000 inheritance and pay my ass back.
Mike, we digress. We are sorry, my friend. We didn't realize.
We done got his ass worked up.
Let me read the excerpt.
The blood pressure good?
It's chapter.
That's right. I got my blood pressure pills in my
chapter-
pocket.
Wait,
Oh, it's locked out there.
It's chapter 20.
that man heart beat 500 miles an hour.
And she the doctor.
Chapter 20 in my book Voiceless, the Journal of Underground Starving Artists, is the chapter's called Homeless Shelter. It's on page 201. The heading is Freedom is Not Worth Having if it does not include the freedom to make mistakes, by Mahatma Gandhi. All right, here it is. Thankfully, I've never been the type of person who fell in love with drugs. Although I have smoked marijuana for years and I've seen the negative side effects of it firsthand, I do not really consider that a drug. Drugs like meth, crack, cocaine, ecstasy, and heroin are on a whole different level than weed. I've experimented briefly with cocaine and ecstasy, but it just did not appeal to me. However, I do have one embarrassing memory of a night that I got high. Sonny Knotts was living with 2 other guys at the time who were all selling and using cocaine from their house. They all had suppliers, customers, and females that would frequently come and go. So there was a lot of traffic at this house. The interesting thing about their arrangement was there's no honor among thieves. They did not trust each other. They hid their drugs and money from each other and sometimes would send their girlfriends to the house to pick up packages of money instead of revealing their stash spot to one of their roommates. One night, I'm over there with the 3 of them. We all got high and drunk. A few girls and customers stopped by, and towards the end of the night, everyone had left except for Sonny Knotts and I. This night, I began to get an upset stomach from the cheap cocaine and the alcohol I ingested, and I felt like I had to vomit, shit, and pass gas at the same time. Consequently, I went into the master bathroom, sat on the toilet while I leaned my face over the sink, and sat there for a while. All right. Eventually, I end up falling asleep right on the toilet with my pants down in this drug dealer's bathroom. I was waking up early the next morning by a well-dressed, pretty black woman who was sent there by the homeowner to pick up something that was hidden in that bathroom. She walked in and saw me sleeping with my pants down around my ankles and my head resting in a puddle of drool on the bathroom sink. She then screamed at the top of her lungs. She almost literally scared the shit out of me. Pun intended. I woke up and tried to remember where I was, but her screaming startled me so much that I immediately jumped up and stumbled because my pants were still around my ankles like shackles. I then realized that it was a bad idea to stand up with my penis hanging out, so I quickly sat back down. By this time, the girl had run out of there screaming as if the house was on fire. I sat there for a minute, tried to catch my breath and compose myself from one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. Then I started to laugh when I looked over in my right hand and realized that I had some clean, unused toilet tissue that I intended to use hours earlier. I still crack up laughing every time I tell this story, but in retrospect, I was ashamed and appalled at how vulnerable and helpless I was in that intoxicated state. And that night was more than enough reason for me to say goodbye to cocaine forever. No agenda. I just put an embarrassing story out there in my book. I wrote this 5 years ago. It was not intended to be a preemptive strike against Key, who thinks that if you're a good guy, you shouldn't have to say you're a good guy.
So the story about him normalizing himself and coming down to earth from being the Michael Barclift that we all know and love. That is no way, shape, or form
He's
intended.
no agenda guy. No agenda.
Because he's just a good guy.
Because he's a good guy.
All right. And in my defense, if you want to have a defense jury debate about if I'm a good guy or not, I present Exhibit A. Tell me that's not a good guy.
Cause
That
he
is a
post
good
a
guy.
picture of him and his cute little baby.
Look at that. Him and the baby.
Tell me that's not a good guy.
Whatever, dude. I got kids.
Oh, so
Makes
now
me a-
Marco want to be mad at Mike.
It makes me a good guy and
Yo,
shit.
I don't punch my kids in the face.
Oh!
Hey, sometimes.
Hey guys, this has been the Street 16 podcast. We thank you guys so much for listening. Any shout outs, Chuma?
No.
Nah.
Shout out
Mike.
to
No.
Hotep and Mahad, Marquise, and everybody from Cuts by Hotep, the barbershop on Linden.
A sales salon and spa.
All right, beautiful.
Marco?
Where we
Oh,
got my
sometimes
boy
you gotta punch a nigga in the face.
The ever illustrious Key Crawford.
Shout out to the Good Vibes Tribe. Y'all been with the shits lately. Love y'all.
I want to meet the Good Vibe Tribe. I like y'all name.
Last but not least, man, it's always real. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Mike for taking it on the chin this evening. Pause.
Do we need a part 2 of this? Cause
Yes, we need a part 2.
Like you won?
Because
Small
I
victory.
ain't finished. I'm trying to let everybody talk. I still got more going on.
We can always talk. Marco, there was always room for you to talk about yourself. I'm sure.
Oh, I'm definitely talking in my head. Like, God damn it, I wish somebody would be quiet for 1 second so
Yeah.
I can say
Well,
something.
guys,
You want the last word?
Tune in next week. I have nothing, man. It's been real. We'll catch y'all on the other side. Pause.
Word.
Thank you guys.
You are now listening to the
Yeah,
Street 16
Back
podcast.
out.
Oh, yeah, B-sides. Y'all going cop voiceless? We might.
I don't need to because Mike loves sending us excerpts for free.
I'm a good writer, y'all. Don't sleep. I got a skill set.
And I'm already in it, so I already know myself.